Hey everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to my daily review of California versus Larry Millete in his preliminary hearing from 2023. In case you missed it, the trial date is March 9th, 2026. That's the last delay. By way of reminder, this is a local case for me, so I'm going to do my best to cover it on this channel. And I'm going to do my best to attend the trial, but not in its entirety by any means, maybe a day or two here and there. It's expected to be 3 months long by some estimates. So new episodes are dropping almost every day, not on Sundays, but so make sure that you have your notification bell on so that you can see them when they drop or so that you don't miss out. I've created a couple of quick links for you. One of them is to watch the entire playlist in case you want to binge this or go back. It should be in order of the way they drop, so the latest one on top. And inside that playlist is also a case review, a timeline review, and a very brief summary. Depending on what you're interested in, there should be something in there for everyone. And again, I'm asking you to share these videos or the playlists to someone who might care about this case, because the family is still looking for Maya and this case could use more publicity. So the playlist is capital MM, like Maya Millete, hyphen capital P, lowercase LAYLIST. And we left off yesterday. We're still on day 2 of the cross-examination of Maricris, who's the third witness in this hearing. It's a long hearing, an unusually long preliminary hearing. And in this episode, we're going to actually finish up day 2 so that we can get on to day 3 next. So with that, let's get rolling.
At any point, did she indicate a desire to cancel that trip, that set foot weekend of the 8th?
Not at all.
Did you believe May when she told you that she did not have any control over their finances?
Yes.
Isn't it true that Larry had a habit of calling your sister, their kids, and even you and your family many times? Isn't that what Larry would do? It's just his habit of calling and calling?
Not that I know of. They just started the 2020. He barely called us before that, 2019 and before. He started calling everybody, calling us in 2020. So it's not really a habit if you're talking about years, but 2020 when he started calling everybody. So it was really unusual for us, for me especially, for him to be calling so a lot of times during that time, more than, well, I shouldn't be more than usual, but we hardly actually call. I'm sorry, take it back. He hardly called us before 2020.
So there was a noticeable frequency of Larry's phone calls to you and the rest of your family in 2020.
Correct.
Was that the entire year of 2020?
I would say so, but mainly for like half the year for me, or maybe in April or May or something like that for me. But he talks more often to either my brother JR or my brother JP.
How about your father?
And my dad, yes.
How about your mother?
Not my mom.
Did you have an understanding why Larry would call your brothers and your father
He wanted
frequently in 2020?
Well, no, she's not asking for a statement, but this witness may lack a foundation to give that answer. So, lack a foundation to state.
Well, let me just rephrase it, John, and clarify it. You were made aware of the fact that Larry was calling your brothers and your father frequently. Did you learn why he was doing that?
He's, again, they've been having issues with my sister, so I knew he was asking help from everybody, and he wanted to, I guess, get some advice from all the siblings and my dad. Sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to add my siblings and my dad. He was calling, every single one of us.
So not only was Larry seeking advice from you, he was also seeking advice from the other siblings, your other siblings, and your father. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
There's another word for that. It's called ingratiating yourself with the victim's family. But that's just me. Just a little addition there for you to consider. What do you think?
Do you recall discussing Larry and May's problems regarding their marital issues with your brothers and your father?
I guess the time objection.
Sustained. Can you rephrase and
So we're-
then state a specific time period for
Okay.
the discussion?
The calls that were made by Larry to your brothers and their father, when was that? When did it start?
I have no idea. I don't have a specific time for that. I don't really know.
What about specifically to you? Do you remember the dates that Larry started calling you frequently to seek for your help and advice?
Not really. I don't. I don't know exactly when in 2020 they started doing that.
When Larry was calling you, did it appear to you that he was desperate?
Yes.
Or what was the tone of his voice when he was calling you?
It's well, to me it was normal. I mean, just trying to get the conversation and trying to get some help and advice, primarily help, I guess. But well, throughout the conversation, sometimes if you tell somebody and what you think and give them advice, and yet they're not following your advice, so that's the whole conversation. It's like you tell him something and yet it's not being done. So that's kind of that conversation that we actually.
Right, because he didn't really want advice. He didn't want a solution. He was trying to box Maya in even more by involving her family and maybe trying to even gain sympathy for himself, hoping that her family would support him over her, which they didn't.
Have with Larry, but it's to us it felt like over time in 2020 it felt that he does needed help and he does needed advice from us, and at the same time we thought like he really needed someone to talk to.
Did you tell him to seek professional advice?
No.
Did you tell him to speak to your sister?
Of course, yes.
And did that happen?
I no idea.
Why do you say that Larry and May's marital problems progressed and escalated in 2020?
Everyone's awake.
Let me rephrase, Yana.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Well, they had, you could actually tell they have more, they have arguments, again, with the phone calls Larry was making. So it was obvious that there's something going on, with the relationship. Whether we're, in a get together, they'll be arguing, but which usually didn't happen before 2020. So then that's when it started. We knew something was wrong, but at the same time, we were hoping they'll be able to work it out.
Did you hear them when they were arguing?
No, well, not exactly, no.
So you don't really know if it progressed or stayed the same or got better. Is that right?
One day they would come like happy couple, and then the other times they would come like they were arguing, and then sometimes they would, when we do get together, then there will be, those like they have an argument again, or sometimes they come back. I mean, when we get together, you could actually see it looks like they kind of work it out. So it's been that way throughout 2020. To me, that's what I observed.
So it was difficult to really determine whether they were nice to each other or loving to each other or fighting or dislike each other. It was difficult, isn't it? Or wasn't it?
Well, it was more obvious, maybe last few months of 2020 that my sister was really over the relationship, especially at the time when we were in the New Year's. She already said she's ready for the divorce, and she didn't hold back when they were arguing. She would just argue with him. It's more observant or more open that they're having an argument.
When did your sister May bring up to you the issue about divorce? The first time she brought that to you.
That January weekend, the New Year's weekend of 2021.
So she never mentioned divorce to you the whole entire time in 2020.
She did mention about, she didn't want a divorce. She mentioned about co-parenting. That's what she tried to do when she moved out. That's what she told me.
But not divorce.
Not divorce. She said she doesn't want to do a divorce. She wanted to do co-parenting.
Did you understand what she meant by that, co-parenting?
Yes, so they're going to be taking care of the kids, but they're going to be separated.
Were they supposed to reside in one roof?
That I don't know. She did mention that she wanted to get her own place.
When did she say that to you?
I don't recall exactly when.
Was it the beginning of 2020?
No, maybe September, October. I think we had more conversation when we went shopping.
So she wanted to leave Larry and find a place for herself alone, without Larry.
Without Larry, yes.
And what did you think about that?
I'm trying to mute myself. Excuse me, sneeze.
I'm sorry.
I object to relevance.
Let me rephrase it, Your Honor. Let me just rephrase it. What was your reaction when she told you that?
What was the question again? I'm so sorry. What was it? What was your question again?
When May revealed to you that she wanted to leave and find her own place, what was your reaction?
And we have relevance objection.
Another relevance.
Safe.
Did you say to her, I can help you find a place?
No. I you know, at that time, I can't believe that she's actually planning to do that. I was still telling her maybe she could still work it out, their marriage. But I did not give her any. I mean, I didn't tell her, I'll help you out with, with apartment. But like to us, whatever our decisions like are between our siblings, we always support that. So if at the back of my mind, whatever she wants to do, we'll be supporting it.
Do you mean to say that you're supporting her decision to leave Larry and find another place for herself?
I will support that. Yes.
Should I still continue on? I think it's 5 after. So.
We're going to 4:30.
Okay. Did you indicate that to her that you were going to support her decision to leave Larry?
You already asked that question. Did she answer it?
Yes. Yeah, I think she said yes. So at that time, you were not concerned about me at all.
Concerned about living?
Yes.
Not really. No, I wasn't. Again, I was still hoping they'll be able to work out their relationship.
Was that just your hope, or did you tell May that you would support her in her decision?
Objection as an answer.
That's the state. That's like,
Just
let's move on.
okay,
I think
now-
we thoroughly
okay.
explored this.
sorry, Your Honor. You mentioned that May purchased a Jeep in 2020,
Yeah, they got a Jeep for her. Yeah.
and you mentioned that the Jeep belongs to May.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question, counsel.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I didn't hear your question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I'll try to speak louder. You mentioned earlier that the Jeep belongs to May. In your testimony, you mentioned that the Jeep belongs to May.
That's what our understanding is. It was purchased for her.
Who paid for the Jeep?
I have no idea.
Your understanding was the Jeep was purchased for her. How? Why? What caused you to believe that?
She said it's her Jeep, so I'm assuming it's her. So yeah, that's what she said.
So the Jeep was purchased about the time that you believe May was thinking about divorcing Larry?
I'm not sure about the divorcing, but I know they tried to do. That's why it was kind of confusing there about the relationship, because they did purchase the Jeep, and throughout the year they were having problem, but it was the separate, the co-parenting when she was talking about it, but not the divorce when they purchased the Jeep.
Isn't it true that your sister and Larry also purchased a motorcycle at the same time frame?
You mean the dirt bike?
Motorcycle, or what do you call that? What she uses to go into the desert. And
Yes, I was aware of the dirt bike. Yes.
do you know what that motorcycle is? What is it called?
It's either Yamaha or Suzuki.
For the third time, lady, it's a dirt bike. She doesn't seem to hear the answers or be listening for the answers. This is going to be a fun ride, guys. Let me know what you think so far of Bonita Martinez, Larry's defense attorney, at the time of his preliminary hearing. Again, she will not be appearing for him on his behalf during the trial.
Two-wheel. It's
Are you mean a
upright.
quad or what?
I don't know, Your Honor. So
You can be more generic.
okay, well,
Vehicles purchased. I know there's a Jeep and there's a motorcycle or dirt bike.
I just go with motorcycle in general. So because I don't really know all the differences in the motorcycle. So, but that's
She just told you it's a dirt bike. Use the terminology that she gave you and stop saying you don't know. Oh my God. And why are you asking what difference does it make if it's a dirt bike or a motorcycle? You're wasting so much time. Oh my gosh.
as a fact that they did buy a motorcycle or whatever you call it about the same time that they purchased.
Whatever
the
you
Jeep.
call it is a dirt bike.
I'm not sure if it's the same time, but I know it was purchased for her too. Yes.
And that you're aware, you testified earlier that May was planning a trip to Hawaii, as well as going back to other places. Did you understand that May also wanted to go to the Philippines?
There's always been a plan, to go back to the Philippines, but it's always been a plan. So whether it goes to to fruition or not, I don't know, but they always talk about going back to the Philippines.
Is that another reason why you felt that you needed to advertise in the Philippines to help locate May?
Not really to locate her in the Philippines. I guess primarily with our searches to just help us out, also financially with our search efforts.
Was there a financial aspect on your, on the activities that you're doing for searching May? Was there a financial aspect to that?
Are you talking about our GoFundMe for that?
Yes.
Yes, we did. We did. Well, not me personally, but I can't even remember who started the GoFundMe. But at the beginning, we put it out there just to help us, the family, for our search efforts, also for the hotels, because at the beginning we were going back and forth from we live in Riverside, and my sisters and my brothers live in LA area, so we want to make sure our accommodations is also we can have help from that, and then we started more into the searches. So then the flyers and different equipments that we were using for the searches was from that GoFundMe.
What was the reason?
Yeah, and so this is a really good reminder. These searches, they cost money. They cost time, obviously super amounts of emotional anguish, but it costs money to take off every weekend and go to a different location that's other than home and search all day. You need to eat on the road. You need to sleep on the road. All these things cost money. They also, she mentioned they were renting equipment. Eventually they did hire some consultants and that type of thing. Yeah, it costs a lot of money to be a victim or the family of a victim. It really does. And the expenses go on and on and on for years.
That you chose the Philippines besides finances?
I don't recall choosing the Philippines, though. I don't know where that came from.
You posted some, posters and.
That's Hawaii.
Oh, you didn't do that in the Philippines then?
That's Hawaii.
So in the Philippines, it was mainly asking for monetary donations?
No, because you were asking about posting it in the Philippines. I just recall having an interview with with their national television, and that way, they were covering our search effort and our events also. So we were doing the national news But I did not post anything from the Philippines. But again, with our search efforts, we're trying to do it also, worldwide, and that's how it's been since the beginning.
Do you still have relatives in the Philippines?
We have a distant cousins, yes.
This is really interesting because one of the things that Larry's next attorneys accused this attorney of was fraud. And one of the things they cited was that this attorney, Bonita Martinez, charged the Larry and his family, really Larry, an exorbitant amount of money to represent him. But she also put in her itemization travel to the Philippines. Why she thought she had to go to the Philippines, I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't she wasn't hiring an investigator in the Philippines, but her fees and expenses were exorbitant, and they threatened to sue her. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but just a side note there. And I do have some videos I can share with that after we get through the hearing.
Isn't it true that May does have a close friend in the Philippines by the name of Kim?
I hardly remember her, but I believe she's a grade school friend. It's her friend since grade school, but I hardly remember her.
But you don't know her as a close friend to May?
She's a friend to Maya, but I don't know how close they are.
Okay. And when you advertise in Hawaii, did you believe that May could be in Hawaii?
Not at all.
So when you found out that May was missing on or about January 7 or January 8, 2021, what was the first thing that came to your mind where she could be?
I have no idea. I mean, to be honest, I don't know where she could be.
So at that time, you didn't think that Larry had anything to do with her disappearance?
Counsel, it's Vegas time.
Oh, okay. I'll repeat it, Your Honor. January 7, 2021, you had a communication with your sister. Is that correct or no?
Yeah, no.
That's an answer. You asked her about when she was communicating with her up until the 7th.
I just want to clarify because I think she stated earlier yes, and then when I asked her again, she said no. So I just wanted to clarify whether that's it's just not clear, Your Honor.
You want to know when was the last time she had communications with her?
Yes.
Okay, all right. When was the last time you had a telephone conversation?
The last text message was January 3.
Telephone.
I don't recall.
When was the last text?
January 3.
January 3rd?
Right, with her directly, but we do have the messenger, messenger messages.
So,
like, we all know this, right? We saw the hearing, we heard her testify. It's when she started crying. How could you forget it was January 3rd? These details about the Philippines and Hawaii and getting those mixed up makes me think, curious what you think, it makes me think that she just didn't have a handle on the details of this case yet. But just sitting and hearing the testimony should have been enough to preclude her from asking a lot of these questions. I'm curious what you think. Am I being too hard on her?
when exactly did you believe that May was missing?
Well, we didn't know until the Saturday, the night. That's when we went to the house that she's been missing. We just put together that our last conversation with her was January 9th, and the whole day on January 10th, my brother JP couldn't get hold of them. So that's when my brother JR went to check on the house in January.
This is going to get corrected. She just misspoke.
9th is that we confirmed that she's been missing.
So when you call the Chula Vista Police Department on January the 9th, 2021. When you called them, did you tell them that my sister May Millete is missing?
Yes.
Okay, so you consider that to be the date that you believe your sister is missing.
Objection vague.
You understand? Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Dr. Rivas?
Well, that will be the day that we know, she's gone, that she's been missing. Yes.
I'm asking you personally, not they, just you personally, because you were the one who called the Chula Vista Police Department,
Mhm.
and you told them, my sister May Millete is missing. So that's the day you believe she was missing.
Correct.
Okay. When you then, in your mind, believe that day, what was the first thing that came to your mind where she would be?
I have no idea.
At that time, did you have any thoughts that Larry may have done something to her?
Yes. Yes.
What caused you to have thoughts about Larry doing something to May?
That's the filing of the divorce, all the arguments, all the fighting that led to that day, the 2020. So
Did you tell the Chula Vista Police Department that?
Objection vague is time.
Same.
At the time you called the Chula Vista Police Department, who did you speak to?
I have no idea.
You spoke to a detective?
I believe it was a dispatcher.
What exactly did you tell the dispatcher?
I have a 39-year-old sister. We haven't had any communication or contact with her. We didn't know where her whereabouts. That we believe that she's been missing. That's probably what I recall. Telling them.
Isn't it true that they asked you if you believe she was a victim of some sort of a abduction?
I don't recall.
Did you also recall that they asked you if you believe she left voluntarily?
I don't remember.
And do you remember telling them that it could be either?
No, I don't remember.
Is it your testimony today that you did not know in 2020 that your sister May Millete was having an affair with her coworker?
Just pulled that out of the hat.
You can rephrase.
I mean, she just jumped from the call to report May missing to this. This is interesting how she jumps like this. Okay. She's already gotten her to cry once, so let's see how she does.
Said she heard that, but she didn't believe it. So, is your question, had she been made aware of the allegation, or was she aware it wasn't that true?
Well, let me ask her first, why she didn't believe it, or she did not pay attention, or whatever her reaction was. Because she can't remember when she heard it. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm asking the questions.
let us first determine when you first heard about your sister, or the allegation that your sister was having an affair with a coworker.
I don't really recall exactly when. It's either I heard it from my brothers and my sisters, or from my brother, or I heard it directly from Larry. So I don't really recall exactly when I heard, but to be honest, I was brushing it off. I didn't believe that she'd be having an affair.
So when did you confirm that she was having an affair with her coworker?
I never confirmed it.
You were not aware of the investigation that occurred in her workplace?
Objection relevance. You're saying.
Okay.
Right, irrelevant. So what this is about, if you're not familiar with this case, see, there's so many details, but because Larry and Maya worked for the Navy, Maya worked for a contractor. I think he worked directly with them. They had certain workplace rules, many companies do, but Larry had gone directly to Maya's boss to tell him that she was having an affair with somebody that she worked with, which would have, of course, caused problems because of their rules. And I don't know if he thought that was going to help her end the affair, or if he was just trying to control her financially so she didn't have a job and got fired or demoted. I'm not sure, but that's what she's getting into now, and that's a whole other animal.
So today, your testimony is you don't really know for sure whether your sister May Millete was having an affair with a coworker.
Objection, relevance.
I just want to clarify her testimony on.
Sidebar. Actually, yeah, sidebar report.
Cyborg. Yeah. So this is where at the cyborg at the sidebar where the second day ends up. And so on our next episode, we will get into the third day. She will still be under cross, and then after that, we'll get into the next witness, which is another family member. So again, thank you for being here. I hope you're finding this helpful and informative and useful. I appreciate you watching and sharing. And remember, new episodes do drop every day except for Sundays. I might occasionally have a Sunday episode, but at this point, not Sundays. Since I'm not monetized, YouTube doesn't really push my content. So if you want to make sure you catch the next update, or if you want to share this with someone else, please make sure that you click the notification bell, subscribe, and do all those things. So I appreciate you being here. Again, the playlist is bit.ly/uppercase MM hyphen uppercase P lowercase LAYLIST. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.